Sorry. Mute ಮಲ್ದಿದ್ದೀರಾ?
Hare Jai
Mute
Shri Ram,
ಮಲ್ದಿದ್ದ ನಮ್ಮ
all of you.
ಪಾಠದಲ್ಲಿ ಇತ್ತ.
Vishal,
ಹಾ?
mute Chandrakant, please. Jai Shri Ram, welcome all of you all for our weekly Wednesday Ramayana class. So we are reading from the Valmiki Ramayan, shloka by shloka, trying to understand the intricacies and the message given by Valmiki ji in the Ramayana. So we have completed chapter 12. Sarga 12 is over, and we are starting with Sarga 13, which talks about Dashratha entering the sacrificial ground. So just to brief out for those who have joined off late, for them, this message goes very clear that Dashrath Maharaj was desiring for a son, and he was not having a child, and he was getting old, so he was quite perturbed, and he was desiring that what by doing Ashwamedh Yagya might be my punyas will increase and I will have a son. And that time, his minister Sumantra tells him that yes, you will have a son, because I heard it earlier from Sanakadik rishis that you will have 4 powerful sons and you will have it through Rishi Shringya. So finally, he goes to his friend Rishi Shringya, who is married to his own daughter Shanta, and requests the couple to come over to Ayodhya, where he's doing the Ashwamedha Yagya. And finally, Rishi Shringya arrives here along with Shanta. And now, Dashrath Maharaj in the last chapter gave the instructions for preparation for the Yagya, and now they will be entering into the sacrificial. Yes, Mataji, please read.
After the completion of 1 full year, the season of spring again arrived. The valiant king, for the sake of a son, went to perform the horse sacrifice. Greeting the best of the Brahmanas, Vasishtha Muni...
Complete the explanation. Please read the explanation.
Yeah. From this, we can understand how elaborate this horse sacrifice was. There is a lot of preparation that needs to be done before performing the event. The method of worship in Treta Yuga was fire sacrifice. However, such a method of worship cannot be adopted in the present times, nor can all these ingredients be arranged nowadays. Also, it is rare to find highly qualified Brahmanas nowadays who can perform such a vast sacrifice. Furthermore, it could only be performed by kings because a huge amount of wealth was required to perform these sacrifices. Hence, this type of sacrifice is not recommended in Kali Yuga. In the present times, the most affordable and the easiest way is chanting the holy name of the Lord and narrating his glories. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is clearly stated that Akama sarva kamo va moksha kama udaradi di tivrena bhakti yogena yajita purusham param. If one has desires or no desire or only desire of moksha, liberation, then a person who has higher intellect will worship only and only the all supreme God in the form of Vishnu or Rama or Krishna. Hence, if one does devotion, may be for some material desires or simply out of love for the God, one must chant the holy name of the Lord. Chanting the Lord's name is chanting the Lord's name is possible at all times, all places, and by everyone, immaterial of a gender or qualification, and it is also free of cost.
That's the most important thing. Chanting the holy name is free, cheap. In Kali Yuga, we people always are very cost effective and conscious, which is cheaper and which is costlier. We always keep on comparing on the net the prices. But the cheapest or the most free is form of doing devotion is performing the chanting of the holy name. See, already we have discussed this earlier, but still to brief it up for those who are new, it is always said, the Satyug, it was through dhyana, through meditation. The form of worship in Treta Yuga was through yagya, and there we see such an elaborate preparation. Just imagine, this preparation has taken 1 year. Just the preparation. For how much time will be required to perform the yagya? That will be another year. So that much of time, money, energy, ingredients, and such highly qualified brahmanas were required to perform this yagya. Hence, in Kali Yuga, it is said that these things cannot be performed. Neither does people have such a long lifespan who can wait for 1 year of preparation so that 1 year of yajna can be done. How from where will so much of money and resources will be made available over and above? In today's date, where are the mantras available? They've all been destroyed in due course of time. Today, what does an yajna actually mean? Most of you must not be knowing. It's just reading Purusha Shuktam and Sri Suktam and just a few mantras more. That's all. Yajna is done. There's nothing more today in yajna. Just a sankalp is done, then Purusha Suktam and Sri Suktam. That's it. And that's what, people who are ignorant, they think, oh, something nice has been chanted. But Purusha Suktam is something very nice and superior. Similarly, Sri Suktam is dedicated basically to Lakshmi. Bottom line is, in Kali Yuga, people are not qualified with that much of knowledge to read the mantras also. Hence, this is a warning, or rather a caution. You will fall in the trap of these so-called wrong brahmanas who say that we will do this great yajna and help you in solving your problem. No, you cannot. You have to follow the only Kali Yuga dharma, and Kali Yuga dharma is chanting the holy, though it is not complete. After chanting, what you got to do? You got to understand the guna, rupa, leela, everything. Everything can be understood only through satsang, reading the scriptures. Through understanding the scriptures, you understand the guna, rupa, leela of the Lord. Without that, अगर बिना भगवान के गुण रूप लीला समझे आप सिर्फ नाम जप करते रहोगे तो भी आप भक्ति में आगे नहीं बढ़े. If you want to go ahead in devotion, you will have to not just chant, be in satsang, read about scriptures, read about the pastimes of the Lord, and then you will understand Lord in totality. Please continue, Mother.
Greeting the best of the Brahmanas, Vasishtha Muni, and after scripturally honoring him, King Dashratha, for having a son, then humbly said, King Dashratha said, O great sage, let the sacrifice be performed as per the scriptures. The limbs of the sacrifice must be conducted perfectly without any hindrance. You are a very great teacher. You are friendly and my well-wisher. This sacrifice must be initiated by you and carried out under your responsibility. The best of the Brahmanas, Vasishtha, spoke to the king, I will do all that is requested by you.
I will tell you one small incident. This comes in Adhyatma Ramayana, where Vasishtha Muni is told by Dashrath Maharaj to go and get Rama. I want to inform that tomorrow I'm going to do his coronation. So Vasishtha Muni comes, and when he enters Rama and Sita's palace, the Balkand, the ending, the marriage is done. Rama and Sita is married, and then after 12 years of marriage, Dashrath Maharaj decides to coronate him, and so sends Vasishtha, and Vasishtha Muni goes to his palace, and the minute he enters, Ramchandraji and Sita both welcome him. They wash the Brahmana's feet. They make him sit on a nice chair and wash his feet and take a few drops of the Charanamrit. They drink, just to show that how a Brahmana should be worshipped. At that time, very nicely, Vasishtha Muni, he tells, I know who you are. He tells, you are the Supreme Lord. You are the Supreme God who has come in the form of Dashrath Nandana. He says, okay, I'm God, yes. And here he tells everything. I was not the Rajapurohit of the Ishkwakus. Vasishtha Muni was instructed by Brahmaji. Brahmaji told, see, now after a few years, few years means thousands of years. Later, God is going to take birth in the house of Dashrath Maharaj. So you better become the Purohit. So for 3-4 generations, Vasishtha Muni was the family priest of the Ishkwaku dynasty. And finally, When Ramchandraji appeared, he thought his service is now fully fructified. It is generally said, अक्सर कहा गया है कि पुरोहित का जो काम है, the work of a purohit is supposed to be very low, menial. It is not very high. You know why? He has to listen to the Yajman. Yajman means for whom he is doing purohit. Purohit means what? Puro means his master, hit means welfare. So he's telling that I had to take this post was doubtful. He was a great exalted rishi. Just imagine he is rectifying Vishwamitra, the king, into a translating him into, converting him into a sage. That great powerfulness. Brahmastra did not affect his danda. Vasishta Muni's danda just ate away the entire Brahmastra thrown by Vishwamitra. So here, the point what I've tried to make over here is Vasishta Muni was very much aware that this is a lower post. Here also you see Dashrath Maharaj is instructing Vasishta Muni, please do the yagya. You are very respectful, but you have to do the yagya without making any mistakes. So he's taking instructions from the king, which is quite an inferior job for a person who is in such an exalted position like Vasishta Muni. But still, in fact of that, he does. Because one day he knows he is going to get the chance of serving the Supreme Lord. When Ramchandraji is finally born, it is he who does the Namakarana. He does the Namakarana of Rama and Lakshmana, Bharata and Shatrugna, all four sons. He does the Namakarana. Yes, in Krishna Katha, you heard how Garga Muni came and did the Namakarana of Krishna. Similarly, here the Namakarana will be done by Vasishta Muni himself. So what is the startling or the important point is, though this is an inferior post, Vasishta is accepting just because he knows one day Lord is going to take birth in this dynasty and he will get a chance to serve the. Yes, continue.
Then Vaishishta Muni spoke to the senior Brahmanas who were experts in performing sacrifices and to those who were expert architects. He also spoke to senior righteous people, laborers, brickmakers, carpenters, earth diggers, accountants, sculptors, and actors. He spoke with those who were pure, well learned, and experts in the scriptures. Vasishta Muni said, arrange the sacrificial work as ordered by the king. Quickly get thousands of bricks and build a temporary residence for the king with many excellent features. Build well equipped and well established hundreds of residential chambers for the Brahmanas.
No problem. As it is, weather is bad nowadays. Okay, don't worry. I'll just read for a few minutes, then you can start. No problem. So, build well equipped and well established hundreds of residential chambers for the Brahmanas. It should be having variety of palatable dishes and drinks. So now Vasishta Muni is now giving his instructions further down the line to the other people. And he is telling how more arrangements have to be made. He's telling, get nice quarters made for Brahmanas. Because so many hundreds and hundreds of Brahmanas are going to come. And a few lakhs will be visitors, Brahmanas themselves, other than common man and other kings and other that. We'll listen further. Also, for the citizens, we must build spacious accommodations. Moreover, separate accommodations must be built for the kings who have traveled here from far off places. So what does this mean? Neighboring kings from the other kingdoms, they are also coming. Plus, citizens are coming. Such a huge event. And सबके लिए खाना भी बनने वाला है. See, you listen. Build stables for the horses. Nowadays in Bombay, car parking is a big headache. if you call guests, not then the guest, you have to arrange for their parking. That's a big challenge. So don't worry, this problem was there existing from that time, from Vedic time. They had to build stables for the horses of the kings and other people who used to come, the Ratha. So build stables for the horses and elephants and resting rooms for the soldiers. The king will not come alone, he'll come with soldiers. So resting room for the soldiers. Great accommodations must be arranged for those people coming from foreign lands. So literally a hotel was made, 5-star hotel, 3-star hotel, all hotels were made. What lavish arrangements. All these residents should be filled with varieties of food. All desirable things like flower garlands should be made available. Nice and sumptuous food should be served in all to all city dwellers and other people. So imagine इतने लाखों लोगों के लिए रोज खाना बनाना है, खाना सर्व करना. And nice, सबके room में in all residents should be filled with varieties of food. So variety of food रखना है and desirable things like flower garlands, this and that. Mind you, it's all as per hierarchy. Kings के लिए अलग arrangements, for citizens something not so high, and then for brahmanas equally so sacred arrangements had to be made. The food is to be served as per the rules with due respect and not playfully. This is very, very important. All castes must be honored as per their entitlement. No disrespect should be shown by coming under the control of lust and anger. There is a very important Shastric understanding to this. It is said, when people are invited for certain function or program, they are invited and given this food. That time, you cannot check their qualification. You have invited them, so don't check their qualification. जिस दिन आपने उनका क्वालिफिकेशन चढ़ने गए, आपका दान, आपका जो भी कार्य है, उसका पुण्य चला जाता है. You lose the piety of that pious activity. That is why the food must be served as per rules. Here rules means what is to be eaten and what is not to be. And with due respect and not playfully. ठीक है यार, आज इसको थोड़ा दाल कम दे दो, उधर दाल में थोड़ा पानी मिला के दे दो. No, it has to be very, very respectfully and systematically given. All castes must be honored as per their entitlement. No reservations. All have to be given respect. All castes as per their levels. For Brahmana comes, Brahmana's level of respect is different. For a Kshatriya, it's different. For a Vaishya, it's different. And for Shudra, it is different. And no disrespect should be shown. You should not see, इस कोई भी व्यक्ति आता है, उसकी पात्रता को जज नहीं किया जाता. This is only for function where you have invited. It's an open invitation function. At that place, it should not be judged. And this we can see very well at the time of Bali Maharaj. Bali Maharaj was also doing yajna. Bali Maharaj first started conquering the heavenly worlds. He conquered. Indra ko bhi bhaga diya. And he took over the control over the heavenly worlds. Then, now the challenge for him was, officially he has not become the Indra. Indra means not just taking power, control of heaven. You have to officially do some sacrifice and take the position. So 100 Ashwamedh Yajna has to be done. Then only you become qualified to become Indra. 100 is very difficult. Wow, एक यज्ञ का ही इतना description है, सोचो 100 यज्ञ का कितना description होना चाहिए. So Bali Maharaj was performing this Ashwamedh Yajna, and it is that at that time, since it is said no disrespect would be made, Vamanadev, that is Lord himself coming as Vamanadev, as a small but Brahmana, he came there. And that he was also respected, and that is where the entire Trivikrama incident happened. Yes, please continue. Sorry. Those people and craftsmen who were busily occupied in this sacrificial work should be well honored. As per their superiority, all should be honored with wealth and good food. Now imagine so many brahmanas, so many kings, everyone are coming. Everyone have to be given gift. And that too not ordinary gift, wealth and good food also. The hospitality has to be shown. I mentioned earlier, I don't know, yes, I have mentioned, but I'll tell you once again. When the Mahabharata Yuddha was over, Pandavas wanted to do Ashwamedh, but they didn't have any finance left. Tijori pura khali tha. Because both Kauravas also passed away, the Pandavas also lost their army, and the war was a very costly affair. All money was drained, they didn't have money. So Arjuna was told, Krishna, how will we do Ashwamedh Yagya? Krishna said, don't worry. Come, I'll take you to some place. And they both sat in the Ratha. Krishna drove somewhere in the Himalayan ranges. And he said, go behind that mountain, you'll find a lot of gold. Get the gold. Arjuna went and he saw it was almost like a mountain of gold. He said, Krishna, what is this? Where is this mountain of gold? There he saw it was all golden utensils, plates and cups and spoons. He said, see, this is what your earlier generation people, they have done Ashwamedh Yagya. And that time, while performing the Yagya, they gave for every Brahmana a golden plate in which the food was served. The Brahmanas, after eating the food, they were told, you carry the plate is for you only. You don't have to give us the plate back. Imagine today's date, can anyone think about it? So that is why I don't think about Ashwamedh. It's not our cup of tea now. So immediately, the Brahmanas, they said, what will we do with this plates of gold? We don't need, we don't do any sangra. Sangra means we don't collect anything. We are satisfied people. So after the yagya was over, when they finished the food, they went as if they, we throw away disposable plates, they threw away their golden plates. And itna plate jama ho gaya, cup and spoon jama ho gaya, that it was like a mountain. Krishna told Arjuna, use that wealth and do a yagya. So imagine how much of wealth they must have spent in those days. So everything must be well organized, accomplished with a loving mind. Not even a little bit of negligence should be there in the execution. So the message given by Vashishta and the message earlier given by Dasharatha was almost the same and same. Mataji, you're back. You can read? Yeah. Read from verse number 18 now.
Yeah. All the artisans and craftsmen said this to sage Vashishta. As desired by you, everything will be well organized. As ordered by you, there will be no negligence. Then Vashishta Muni called Sumantra and said, invite all the righteous kings of the earth. Invite the Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, Shudras, and thousands of common men. All people of the country should also be honored.
So first and foremost, here there is a very good clear-cut mention that Brahmana, Vaishya, Kshatriya, and Sudharmas. The word is Sudharmas, where it is clearly saying there was no, like ill treatment towards towards Shudras. No, we always hear, no, Shudras were ill treated. They were, downtrodden, and they were, pushed down. Nothing of that sort. Sab jhoot hai. Everything is a lie, big lie. All four Varnas were given equal value and they had to do the respective jobs. Definitely, you can't expect a Shudra to do the job of a Brahmana. If a Shudra tries to do, then the Kshatriya will stop him. But that doesn't mean it's some like stopping someone or pushing someone. No, it is absolutely wrong. So they were all equally called And thousands of common men were also called, which don't come in the category of these 4 categories also. And all the country, people of the country must be honored. No one was disrespected. Everyone was respected. Please continue.
Please invite the truthful and valorous king of Mithila, the most fortunate King Janaka. I am telling you in advance that King Janaka should be well honored personally by you as he is our old well-wisher.
The special treatment to
The,
King Janaka. Why? Yes, the explanation is there.
yeah. Vashishta Muni telling Sumantra to take a special care of King Janaka of Mithila has a deeper meaning. He knew in the future the friendship between King Janaka and King Dashrata would turn into a close relationship. Sumantra knew that King Janaka's daughter Sita would become the daughter-in-law of King Dashrata. Hence, he specifically mentioned the name of King Janaka as a well-wisher along with the other kings.
They knew long term आगे जाके संबंधी बनेंगे. They will be in-laws. So why not invite them now only and have a good cordial relation? Yes, continue.
Personally invite that godly and affectionate king of Kashi who is always sweet-spoken and well-behaved. You also invite the old and righteous king of Kaikeya along with his son over here. He is the father-in-law of King Dashrata and is like a lion among kings.
So
Invite the
even Kaikeya, that is Kaikeya's father, Dashrath Maharaj's father-in-law. He was also given due welcome and blessing. Now you will say, what is the need for mentioning this? Here we are seeing that Dashrath is not having a son. So he is inviting. But what was the promise he had given at the time of marriage? He had already told that if a son is born to Kaikeyi, the daughter of King Kaikeya, then he would be made the king. Later on in Ayodhya Kand, you will see when he wants to do the coronation for Lord Ramchandraji, he specifically says, we need not call Kaikeya Raja. We will do the coronation without even Bharata also. We will do it without their knowledge. They will do it. And the reason why? He was the heart of heart afraid of the promise he had given to K.K. Raj. And he should not ask, no, what you are saying, Ram will become the king. No, my grandson, Bharata should be the king. This is what's the thing. So this is a contrast. So for this purpose only, Valmiki ji here mentions specifically that K.K. Raja was called over here. Please continue.
invite the illustrious and well-respected king of Anga, King Romapada. He is a great archer and a close friend of our King Dashrata, who is like a lion among kings. Invite the well-respected Bhanumanta, the king of Koshala. Also invite the brave king of Magadha, who is an expert in all scriptures.
So various kings are being invited. Yeah.
Praptijana, the king of Magadha, is kind-hearted and respected among men. Get inspired by the orders of the king Dashrata and invite the kings of the eastern side of Sindhu, Sauviran and Saurashtra. Invite all the southern kings and other peace-loving kings of the earth. Send your great messengers to invite them as soon as possible along with their followers and relatives as per King Dashrath's orders. Sumantra, having heard the words of sage Vashishta, immediately dispatched the religious messengers to invite the kings. On the orders of Vashishta Muni, the righteous Sumantra immediately left to get the kings. All the artisans and craftsmen who were engaged in the sacrificial work from time to time reported everything to Vashishta Muni regarding all the work that was completed.
So this is all being described as what happened in that 1 year before they could enter into the sacrificial ground. Itna kaam chal raha hai. Ground was being made. Now that will also come. That will also be described how the pillars were made, how everything was set up. Everything is mentioned in the Ramayana. So nobody can think, oh, it was just a a story or just some mythology, what we generally come as mythology. Mythology का मतलब क्या है? Myth means false, not true. Mythology means one which never happened. And this is how Britishers called it mythology. or mythology, whatever you call it. But actually, everything happened. In fact, there is a very beautiful calculation given in the Hanuman Chalisa, which talks about the distance of the earth from the sun. And say even today's calculation, the distance between the earth and the sun comes to the same calculation to what has been mentioned to in the Hanuman Chalisa. That was the preciseness of our Shastra. Okay.
Listening to all their words, says Vashishta, became delighted. He spoke, charity should not be done with disrespect or in a playful mood. Undoubtedly, such a charity will destroy the donor. Explanation should I read?
Yeah.
In the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 17, verse 20 to 22, talk about the various charities under three gunas. But out of the three, the charity done in the mood of goodness is the best. Bhagavad Gita 7.20 states that Datavyam iti yat danam diyate anupakarine deshe kale cha patre cha tad danam satvikam smritam. Charity done to the right person at the right time at the right place without any desire for any fruits of that charity is the quality of a sattvic person. Hence, whimsically done charity is not advocated in the Vedic literature. No disrespect is to be shown by the donor during his charity. The Manu Samhita further clarifies that if a person while performing charity tries to judge the qualification of one who takes a charity, then he loses all the benefits of his charity. It is said that sadhus and brahmanas, by accepting charity, do a favor to the donor by which the donor can purify himself. The significance of charity is further reiterated by the Lord in the Bhagavad Gita 18.5. Yajna dana tapah karma na tyajyam karyam eva tat yajna danam karyam eva tat yajna danam tapas chaiva
Pavanani Manishyana.
pavanani manishyanam.
Just hold on for a minute. I'll explain a little before we go ahead. See, what is charity to be understood as per the Shastra? हर कोई चीज दान किया हुआ चीज charity नहीं. Someone may say, whenever my dresses go old, I give it to someone or to my maid servant or I donate it to some organization or something. That's not charity. Charity means something which is not enjoyed by you. And when it is lost its luster, you give it to someone else. Charity means it should be an unused stuff given to someone. It should not be a used stuff given to someone. To understand this, people generally, there was a beautiful ad in between talking of giving some chocolate to the maid servant by keeping it in the pocket and not removing it. That's not the way charity has to be done. It has to be given respectfully, with love and affection, and with due respect to the person. Second, time, place. Right thing, a right product, or right stuff given at the right time to the right person. All these three together make a proper charity, a sattvic good. Many times we see people giving charity to some organizations, some political organizations also, though they don't want to, but it's obligatory, or not just for name and fame. They make big donations so that their name will be announced very nicely. This is all charity in the mode of passion. This is not in the mode of goodness. It is all in the name of passion. And in the name of ignorance, it can be anything nonsense. It's like inducing someone to drink alcohol by giving him free alcohol or giving him free cigarettes or free drugs. This is not charity. This is something called, like, you think it is charity, but it is a sin. which you are doing in the name of charity. So that is why it is said, whenever a person wants to do charity, it should be in the mode of goodness. That is, charity should be done right time, right person, at the right place. And still something more important to that, one should not desire for any result of that charity. जिस दिन आपने उस रिजल्ट का पीछे भाव लगा लिया ना, then it may come with karmas. Like for example, you give 10 rupees to some beggar and he goes and drinks or smokes a cigarette or eats something bad. You have to bear a part of the sin. You say, sir, why do I bear the part of the sin? I've already given it to the poor man. Now, how he uses his headache, he has to bear the sin. No. Since you want the part of the karma of that action, thinking it to be a good action, you said, मुझे वो पुण्य का भाग मिलना चाहिए, then that punya will come with this sin also. So it won't be a punya, it will be a papa. Whereas when you give away I don't want the fruit of it, then whether the person drinks or smokes or does anything, it goes with him, it does not come to you. That is what is explained in the further part. Read, Mataji, I'll explain.
The activities such as charity, sacrifice, and penance must never be abandoned and should be performed under all circumstances without any compromise. These activities of sacrifice, charity, and penance purify even the wisest among men. The Srimad Bhagavatam Puran contains the story of King Nriga, who transformed into a lizard and was later saved by the Supreme Lord Krishna. Even in the Mahabharata's Anushasan Parva, Bhishma told Yudhishthira the story. The Yadav children were playing in an open space one day. They were thirsty and desired to drink water, and they came across a well. They decided to remove all the creepers and draw water from the well to quench their thirst. They stumbled across an unexpected sight after clearing the well's mouth. That well was home to a gigantic lizard. The strong young Yadavas tried to retrieve the lizard from the well. The lizard was like a mountain, and even with the ropes and other equipment, the little boys could not move it. They then went to the Supreme God Krishna and informed him of this strange occurrence. The Supreme God Krishna approached the well and touched the lizard. It transformed into a celestial king. Lord asked the king why he was in the form of a lizard. Describing his earlier life, King Nriga said that he had done so much of charity that one could even count the grains of sand on the earth, but one could not count the number of charities done by him. He used to give thousands of well-decorated cows to Brahmanas daily. Once a cow given by him in charity to a Brahmana left its herd and wandered back into the king's herd when her master was away. King Nriga and his men were completely unaware of this. King Nriga eventually gave the cow to another Brahmana along with another set of cows. When the genuine owner returned home, he discovered his cow had gone missing and searched for her. Later, he discovered his cow in the house of another Brahmana. He claimed ownership over that cow. The new owner challenged his claim and both traveled to the King Nriga expecting a sensible decision. The original owner accused King Nriga of robbery and theft. King Nriga was upset, so he asked the second Brahmana, to whom he had unknowingly given the cow, to return it and take hundreds of other cows instead, but the Brahmana declined the offer. The king then asked the original owner to be kind and accept 1 lakh cows in exchange. The Brahmana, on the other hand, was enraged and requested that the king return his lawfully owned cow. King Nriga offered him vast sums of money in exchange for the cow. The Brahmana refused to accept anything and returned home in a cursing mood. For this small mistake, King Nriga had to be born as a giant lizard in next birth. Thus, this incident explains how by committing a mistake unknowingly,
while executing charity can result in a disaster for the donor. Hence, Vashishta Muni was specifically advised them not to commit any mistake while executing the charity, which can destroy the donor. So, this is a very perfect example how, though charity done by King Nriga Thousands and lakhs of cows he had donated. Look at the way in which King Riga is telling, coming out of the well as a lizard. When Krishna touched him, he transformed into a beautiful king. And the king is telling, Krishna also is asking as if he doesn't know anything. And the reason why Krishna is asking is to teach us the very, very important teaching of the Veda, and why charity karna zaruri. As given in his explanation, charity is very important to be done. Yagya dana tapa chaiva natrajayam karyam evata. Trajayam means to give up. Natrajayam karyam evata. Yagya dana tapa chaiva pavanani manishinam. They said, more of all people, for all humans, it is the only purification process. But purification process kab hoga? When you will not take the fruits of it. Yahan to this king, after doing so much of dana, is finally landing up in a hellish condition, becoming a lizard. For what? Just because he was attached to the fruits of it. One small mistake, one cow coming back, the donated cows here, he donated for one Brahmana, he donated some cows, usme se ek गाय वापस आ गई. And again that cow had to be, it was given to another Brahmana. So both Brahmanas are fighting over the authority of the one cow. Or the king who was given lakhs and lakhs and lakhs of cow. That's why he's selling. You can count the grains of sand, but you can't count the number of punyas I have done. But had he given away the fruits of it, he would not be undergoing this sin. So one mistake for all the goods you have done, for all the good charity one does, and whatever best charity is possible in this world, you may do. But one mistake, one person goes angry, one person goes unsatisfied, or one person feels it's not justified, he has to suffer. This is the law. That is why Dashrath Maharaj is telling Vashishta Muni is telling the ministers down the line, please don't do any mistake while doing charity. Sometimes it is good you not do charity. But then without charity, there is no scope of purification. That is why you go to any dham, wherever you go, there will be people standing, oh, daan do, daan do, daan do. Aapka punya badega, aapka punya badega. And it is said, Shastra says, all Vedic scripture says, whenever you go to all Tirthasthan, pilgrimage, place of pilgrimage, one should give money. One should give money. But how is that money given? Money should be given with an understanding. Yes, I'm giving this money. I don't need this punya or papa of it. Automatically, that will go into good merits. And that will cleanse you and bring you into a better position. हम लोग जनरली क्या करते हैं? अरे वहां पुण्य किया है, वहां दान दिया है, उसका पुण्य मिलेगा, ये उधर मंदिर में दान दिया है, यहाँ दान दिया है. दान करके भूल जाओ. Forget that you ever had that money also that you have given away. People come and tell me, when we were young, we gave so much of money to this temple, and we had built this, we gave this. And a classic example of Rajasic Dan, I'll tell you. Many times you go to many temples, many institutes, water coolers and fans will be there kept, benches will be kept, and usko par kya likha rahega? Donated by so and so. Why you want to have your name engraved in that? Why you want your name to be written on that? Mat likhao. What's the need? There's no need for you to give your name. That is called Rajasic Dan. That is very bad. If it doesn't function well, then you have to take the karmic reactions of that. So charity is the best form of purification, provided you do not take the fruits of it. The minute you take the fruits of that action, then it may lead you to good reactions or it may lead you to bad reactions. There are two possibilities in this when you go for correcting this. Whereas the best is never take the fruits of your action. Do your action and just say Krishna Arpanamastu, Brahma Arpanamastu, and just offer it to God. Lord, I don't want any reactions for it. And then Lord will definitely bless you for that. And that is how charity has to be done, without any name, fame, expectations for the money you donate. Okay, with this, I'd like to close today's session. Vishal bro, can you please close the live session?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, anybody has got any doubts, questions, can ask.